Shalom. I just want to start off by saying, Kah Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, peace and citations of Fulek, and the Akir spreading the truth throughout the four corners of this earth. My name is Asha Allah, and today I just want to talk about how you got this Israelites group, one body in Yahushai, and they're going into Alexander the Great, and the Greeks were Israelites, you know? And this is not true. And we're going to debunk that with scriptures. And so I'm going to start off and, I'm just going to prove the lineage of Alexander the Greek. You know, so without further ado, let's hop right into it. This is Daniel. This is Daniel 8:20, and this is prophecy. You know, and Daniel 8:20 says, "The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia." So this was This was Daniel breaking down the dream of Nebuchadnezzar, and he was letting him know, letting him know that the ram which thou sawest, verse 20, the ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia, verse 21, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia, and the great horn is that between his eyes, the first king. You know, so this was a prophecy saying that the Greeks were going to come into power. You know, and they were going to rise up and have a king. You know, and the king of Greece. You know, the first king of Greece. You know, so let's get right into it. This is First Maccabees. First Maccabees 1:1, and it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead first over Greece. You know, so this was the coming to pass of that Daniel 8:20. You know, and breaking it down, it said that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian. So keep that in mind, and remember that the Macedonian who came out of the land of Chittim has smitten Darius, king of the Persian and Medes. You know, so that rough goat has smitten that ram with two horns. You know, being a Persian and Medes, that he reigned in his stead first over Greece. You know, so Alexander the Greek, or the Great. You know, he was the first king. You know, of Greece. You know, it says first over Greece. You know, becoming the first king of Greece. So from there, let's prove that Macedonian line, you know, going back to Agagite, and then going back to Amalek, you know. So bear with me. This is the editions of Esther, you know, also found in the Apocrypha. This is 7 and verse Salakia. This would be chapter 13. Salakia. In this Apocrypha, they didn't have it numbered 1 through 7, but let me see. I have it numbered 1 through 7. Actually, 16. Salakia. This would be chapter 16. But in this Apocrypha, they have it numbered 1 through 7. So this is editions of Esther 16, and this is verse 10. It says for Ammon, you know, which would be Haman, Haman, a Macedonian. There goes that word again. Macedonian, the son of Amadatha, being indeed a stranger from the Persian blood and far distant from our goodness, as a stranger has received us. So this Ammon character being a Macedonian, he had achieved a high office among the Persians. Even though he was a stranger, being a Macedonian. So let's jump down to verse 14. It says, for by these means he thought, finding us destitute of friends, to have translated the kingdom of the Persians to the Macedonians. And with him achieving that high rank of office, he was going to use his deceits to try and rule over, to try to translate the kingdom of Persia into the kingdom, into the new kingdom of the Macedonians. But it wasn't time yet. According to the Most High's time, it wasn't time yet. So from then, let's go to Esther. Let's go to Esther, Salakia. Salakia. Let's look at my notes. Esther. Okay. Okay. So this is Esther 3 and verse 1. It says, after these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hamadatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. Yeah, so this is going back to what I was saying, that Haman achieved a high-ranking status, achieved a high seat among the Persians. But let's not forget that it said that he was a Macedonian. But here it's also saying that after these things, did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hamadatha, the Agagite, showing that those Macedonians were also Agagites, man, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him, So you got to figure out what is an Agagite, So going into it, it's going to provide us with little detail, but searching the scriptures, we're able to find out, who were the Agagites, So the Strong's definition for an Agagite is an Agagite, or descendant subject of Agag, Agagite. So Agagite is a descendant of Agag, And jumping down here to the little lexicon, they try to play stupid with it, but it says of Ammon, Amalek, ? So Jewish tradition, blah, 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 blah. But it says here Amalek with a question mark, But we're going to prove that Agag was king of Amalek, So keep in mind that Agagite is a descendant subject of Agag, So going back to it, let's figure out who through the scriptures who is Agag. This is 1 Samuel 15 and 1 Samuel 15 and verse 32 Then said Samuel, bring ye hither to me Agag, the king of the Amalekites. And Agag came unto him delicately, and Agag said, surely the bitterness of death is past. So this king, whom the Lord had told Samuel to go and wipe out everything. No, don't leave the cattle, don't leave the people. He ended up sparing the king, and then King Samuel ended up sparing the king Agag, and also sparing his cattle and sacrificing it unto the Lord. So Agag, being in good spirits, thought that wow, death is. It says, and Agag came to him delicately, and Agag said, surely the bitterness of death is past. So Agag thought he was in good report. Like, okay, shit, death hasn't came this way, but let's see what happens. Verse 33, and Samuel said, as thy sword hath made women childless, so shall thy mother be childless among women. And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before the Lord Yahweh Bashem Hashai in Gilgal. So him thinking King Agag, king of the Amalekites, thinking he was in good report, got his ass chopped up, But let's tracing it back to it, putting together the pieces, the Macedonians, also known as Agagites, through the lineage of Ammon, well, from the lineage of Philip, the father of Alexander the Greek, being a Macedonian. Also known as the Agagites from Haman, or Hamadatha, the father of Ammon, being the Agagites. When we're tracing it back that King Agag, Agag was the king of the Amalekites, and he was an Amalekite, So going back to not going back to, but just jumping over to Genesis 36. Oops, lucky. Jumping over to Genesis 36. This is going into the generations of Esau. So we're going to figure out who Amalek is. And we jump down to verse 10. And verse 10 says, Genesis 36 and 10 says, these are the names of Esau's son, Eliphaz, the son of Adah, the wife of Esau, Ruel, the son of Bashemeth, the wife of Esau, and the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Gatam, and Kenaz. And Timah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son. She bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Adah, Esau's wife. Going into these were the grandsons of Esau's wife, Adah. These were the grandsons. So Amalek is the grandson of Esau. Amalek is the grandson of Esau. And his lineage traces back to Edom. So Amalek's lineage traces back to Edom. So Alexander the Greek would have to be an Edomite, because from the Macedonian traces back to Agagite, and the Agagite traces back to Amalek, and Amalek traces back to Esau, Edom. So there is no way that Alexander the Greek could be an Israelite. So hopefully this is edifying. I just want to give our praise and glory. Blessed honor, thanksgiving unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Hashai, Ba'Shem Kakadash. And I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, citation, soulful elect, and the Akim spreading the truth throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.